What is going on, everybody? It is Alex coming back at you with another video, and today we're capping it off with round 3 of 3 of this mock draft. So if you guys are new, check out rounds 1 and 2. I'm going to be giving a lengthy recap here, so both you and I are quite informed about it, but it's been an awesome ride. You guys are awesome. If you guys haven't already, join the Discord. There's over 400 members now, which is ridiculous. I'm doing tape studies almost every night at this point. It's probably going to reduce in frequency a little bit just because of the holidays, but during early January, we're going to be doing that quite often. And actually, this Sunday is the first fan mock draft. And if you guys don't like the result of that, you're the only one to blame. I hate to say it. I really do. It's only your fault because you could have been the one controlling the picks. But you have to join the Discord for that. And of course, ask my mods as well as myself about all of that because it's all for free. You guys just have to join. And you guys get to experience stuff that you don't get to see here on YouTube. So check it out. It's awesome. Got to spend time with, I think, 15 or 16 of you in a live stream at like down up to like 2 in the morning. Super cool stuff. And it's fun always talking to you guys. But let's go. We'll just do a quick little recap right here. You guys can read. There's some interesting picks in here. Maybe some that like I regret. But honestly, so far I haven't really seen anything that's drastically insane. Brian Breezy. And yes, we're not including Keishon Butte in this because of the fact that this was started before he returned. But, there's been some developments, and the board does not reflect it. Only the people who've been in the Discord actually know the updated thoughts on a lot of these guys. And we're going to see some really, really cool players. But, yeah, for the Texans, we're going to actually do another quick recap right now. Obviously, Bryce Young, he was the guy. Bryce Young was our man. And we traded up for Jalen Hyatt, which is great. I mean, we got to trade up for Jalen Hyatt and Christian Gonzalez. Cornerback, I honestly didn't really feel like that should have been the position I drafted. I wanted to take a little bit of a risk right there, take something unique. And I still think linebacker, probably a good position to go. The fact that they do not have my number 2 linebacker on here is absolutely disrespectful. And that's Tommy Eichenberg. I think that he'd be such a good fit for this team. Again, I mean, we've drafted, a fairly solid team so far. Again, Jalen Hyatt's going to be a really nice weapon for you deep. I would be considering getting someone like Justin Shorter, who I have in my top 32. But there's another Ohio State linebacker, Cody Simon, that's listed here. He's really good too, but he's not going to fit into here. It's not Cody Simon, it is Tommy Eichenberg out of Ohio State. Big fan of him, and he's been a big guy for the draft community, especially for the Discord. So pick number 65 for the Bears. Not a lot has gone on. We got Isaiah Foskey. We've gotten Jalen Carter, the nice 1-2. Now we can focus on getting stuff like wide receiver, and I think that's the correct move. I think going after a wide receiver probably is going to be your best return. And I think Xavier Hutchinson, just getting a super consistent guy who should have at least been in the Blitnikoff award-winning conversation for sure, is going to be something that, Justin Fields certainly likes. You already have your big, deep threat. You already have a really nice slot. Now you have Xavier Hutchinson, who's 6'3", 200 pounds, with really solid hands. That's just someone who you're going to be consistently able to target. And, just somebody where it's something you don't have to worry about for a long time. Pick number 66, we have gone, I believe, offensive tackle, which is my favorite position to go. Yeah, Anton Harrison. We're going to be actually possibly doing an update on him tonight on the Discord. So only y'all can be there. It's a one-time thing. I thought about recording it, but 1, I can't post it on YouTube. But 2, if I did the audio, it would just be a bunch of people rambling and just not talking about much. So, that's why you're going to miss out. And yes, I'll do it again if you guys want me to. But the tape is this is the initial stuff. So offensive tackle already taken. I think that safety definitely is still in consideration. You still could go after someone like Brandon Joseph, a really talented player. But like corner, you still have THT here, who honestly he won the best corner in the college football realm award, which I'm blanking on right now. But definitely somebody I would be intrigued with getting. Definitely someone I'd be intrigued with getting here. And he's super versatile. You could definitely use him as a safety as well. I think I want to take a shot on him. Let's see how it goes. THT making his first appearance in the 3-round mocks, I believe. Pick number 67. I already know I traded back. I got some Keely Ringo up in this piece. I think that we got a 3rd-round pick from this year as well, and we did. Pick 67 and 72. We got Andrew Voorhees at this spot. So got two nice starters, and we have a couple picks here as well. I think going after more offensive line, never a bad idea. I would love to look at Christian Haynes here. Again, super, like, this is the most athletic guard that I've possibly seen, but Olusegun plays center. He's in my top 32. Getting a veteran presence with a 6-year senior, going to be very nice. I do not want to see Billy Price ever snap a football again. So Rodney Hudson also threatening retirement. Olusegun probably going to be your best return on your investment. And the fact that Kyler gets injured so much, it makes sense. And for you guys, do you guys see down there, Olipop is the sponsor of the show. The only reason I ever take sponsorships, that's why I don't really press them as much either, is because I just genuinely don't want to pay as much for Olipop. I'm going to buy it anyways. It's just kind of nice to get stuff for cheaper or for free. And I literally have 50 of these in my fridge. They're expensive as hell, yes. But that's why I want the code. So I get to have the enjoyment of having my own favorite soda, but you guys also get to have that option. So if you guys like stuff that's like only 50 calories, it's not bad at all. It's awesome. I love it. You guys can have that opportunity too. That's why I keep it down there in case you guys want to use it, but I just know I use it for myself and not for anybody else. So that's why it is the way it is. Again, code Hail Mary for 15% off. But pick number 68. Another pick for the Broncos. Love it. I definitely want to still consider an edge rushing position here. You got Byron Young, who'd be a really nice depth piece, but Keon White to be that Bradley Chubb replacement, about 280. I think if he sheds off a little bit of weight, I would love it. He is very, very talented, especially for his size. He's a great mover at 280 plus. So I could say he moves like he's 265, and that's definitely something that's similar to the way Bradley Chubb used to play. I would love to test him out on that interior, especially for the value. Pick number 69. Nice. We got the Falcons here. Pretty sure we went Jared Verse in the first round. Oh no, Jared Verse went to the Eagles. So let's double check what we did in the first. So in the first, we ended up going Myles Murphy. I love it. I didn't even recognize that. So we went Myles Murphy. We went Tyreek Stevenson. That is a really good one too, in my opinion. I love Tyreek Stevenson. Waiting for all 22 to come out on him this year. Just hasn't happened yet. And as y'all know, I make my decisions on my corners based off of all 22, not off of game tape because you don't get to see the full rep. And you guys deserve accurate scouting reports. So I'm not going to give you a half-assed one. That's never going to be my prerogative. I like him from what I saw last year, and then the game tape backed it up this year, but not going to say it's an official this year's scouting report until we get to see all that good stuff. But we got corner. We got an edge rusher. I would love to look at defensive interior here. So Keandre Coburn. This is one of the guys we watched last night. Super fun. He's 343 pounds, but he moves like a freaking freight train. I do love him a lot. Moro Ajomo, he was okay. We watched him last night too. Rook is definitely someone who pops off on tape too. I don't think you can go wrong here between Rook as well as Keandre Coburn. I don't know if you're looking for a 343-pound nose tackle, though. I'm going to go after Rook Orhoro. I think I said that. Rook. We'll just go Rook. Rook O. Getting some extra help. You're also pairing him up with Myles Murphy again. You have some instant synergy on the defensive front. I just don't think any other position is valuable enough for you at this moment compared to what you can get from someone of the talent level of Rook. We're going to see him, I believe, at the Senior Bowl as well. So that's going to be a really nice way to see him against the talent, against the better level talent consistently. Pick number 74, the Rams. I can already guarantee you I went offensive line or an edge rusher for them. And I tried edge rusher. Love that. It's a nice fresh breath, or a nice breath of fresh air. Graham Barton, I actually have him graded higher than, I'm tripping on his name. Why am I tripping on the tackle from BYU's name? My goodness. So I had him graded higher than Blake Freeland, but I know that he's not as good as Blake. He doesn't have the same ceiling, but he's the perfect guy for the Rams in the third round. Like, that's an ideal target, and it makes sense why the Rams like to target round 3+ type of dudes. Pick number 71, went after Broderick Jones. This is a trade with Carolina. I think, what do we do here? We traded up with Carolina somewhere. Excuse me. I think that, so going Felix, wow, dude, we've had a killer draft for the Patriots too. I digress. So, yeah, you guys have had a really good draft. I love that. You already got edge rusher. You've already got tackle. This is where you can look at maybe a corner of the caliber of DJ Turner and try to transform him into something special. This cornerback class just falls off a cliff, in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of that at all. So, looking at other positions, I mean, wide receiver is never a bad position to go after. And I want to go after a true wide receiver one. And a lot of people are going to be crying for Rashee Rice. Again, he's one of my friends. I go to SMU. But I know Raw posts enough Snapchat videos of him shivering in the cold when it's 45 degrees out. I don't really know if he's built for that northern cold. So we'll spare him from a low-key hell right there. And yes, of course, they don't have him in here. My number 30, he's like number 31 on my board. I'll scroll up so you guys can see it. My number 29 player now on the board, he'll be probably 30 when I start adding everybody else back in. But also, Jacoby Woodman no longer in the draft realm. But Justin Shorter. It's going to say Ricky Pearsall. Again, for the amount of people who try to come at me for taking Ricky Pearsall, I'm not taking Ricky Pearsall. So for the love of God, please stop saying I'm taking Ricky Pearsall. It is his teammate Justin Shorter, 6'4", 225 pounds. Dude is a freak. He's also probably going to run in the 4.4s. He's an incredible player. He just has had a couple injuries here and there that have kind of plagued his career. But the guy's talent level through the roof. He would be an amazing player in the third round to pair up with guys like Tyquan Thornton there in New England. Pick number 72. We are back. I mean, hell, do we just go offensive line, offensive line, offensive line? No, we're not going to. A running back, I think, could be really good value. I'm assuming Blake Corum's returning, so yes, I'm not throwing shade at Blake Corum. He's an absolutely incredible running back. I love him. Great player. But honestly, someone who works really well is Deuce Vaughn. And I think teams need to take him. He's 176 pounds at 5'6", but he grades out as the best running back in the class to me. I am fully on the Deuce hype train. This guy's incredible. His offensive line is absolute butt cheeks, and yet this guy makes play after play after play. I watched him with you guys. The resounding agreement is that this guy is an absolute stud, and he deserves to be at the spot. Yes, there's potential injury concern, but it's a third-round pick, for Christ's sakes. This is where you take the running backs where maybe they're not going to have a full NFL tenure, but this guy probably will, and I have full confidence that he's going to be an absolute monster at the next level. He's graded out as RB1 above Bijan. That's weird, but I also know they're totally different styles of back. Pick number 73 for the Saints. Again, not a team that doesn't really need very much, but I do know y'all can use some dudes on, like, probably, Lucas Van Ness makes so much sense. A hyper-athletic big freak at 265 plus. This just feels right to move him in. Can move to the inside, can also play on the edge. He'll be kind of that guy where Peyton Turner's been injured quite a bit. Marcus Davenport leaving. Lucas Van Ness feels like that type of guy who'd be a good fit. Let's make sure I did not totally screw you guys over. We moved up for Tanner McKee. Nice. Makes sense. So pick number 74 for the Texans. Again, we've had a plethora of picks in the draft. Tommy Eichenberg for you. Jalen Hyatt. Like, we've had some big picks up in this house. Christian Gonzalez as well, of course, as Bryce Young. So wide receiver, corner, linebacker now, wide receiver. Let's go after an edge rusher. Let's get some edge presence here. Byron Young, I do love him. Mike Morris is going to be more of the inside, but Derek Hall, he's a veteran presence. He should definitely be going in this range. I like him a lot. Now, is he going to be super high on my board? I'm trying to find, where is Derek Hall? He's number 68 on my board. So, I'm a huge fan of Derek Hall. Maybe not as much as the person next to me, but he's still a phenomenal player, super consistent. Doesn't have that wow factor to him, but he's just that guy where he's going to be on your team at least 5-10 years. He's going to be starting at least 5 of them. So, I think it's damn good value at 74. I'm a big fan of that. Pick number 75 for the Seahawks. So, Will Anderson. Don't even need to look at edge rusher right now. Will Anderson has been the pick, as well as Trenton Simpson. I'm trying to see. We got Mozzie Smith and J.L. Skinner here, too. That is looking nice. Very nice. The defensive front secured. That kind of second level and almost third level is also secured to the defense. Let's get some offensive line in here. And Cooper Beebe, he's just... I'll probably draft him later in this round, but Christian Hayes has the most potential out of any guard in this class. It's a very weak guard class, but my God, Christian Hayes... He is the most athletic lineman in the class by far. One of the most athletic linemen I've ever seen. Just incredible in terms of his movement skills. Very raw. But if you can take a year to develop this guy, he is going to be incredible. Hendon Hooker is still on the board, but I just think there's so much better return on your investment if you end up going after Christian Haynes. Pick number 76 for the Titans. In the first round, I think we went Quentin Johnston for you. That would be kind of sick if we did. Pretty sure that's actually what happened. Quentin Johnston, it was. So Quentin Johnston in the first and the second Cody Mock. So we got offensive line, we got receiver going. I really wish PFF had it right here and they just showed you what was good. Linebacker. I would think that we're going to do a mock based off of you have to choose from the top 2 positions. That'd be kind of cool. We'll do that in the offseason. But at this point, I think going after an edge rusher would not be a bad idea. I think a tight end would not be a bad idea if you want depth behind Chig. Because again, I looked at the roster in terms of the tight end depth, not exactly ideal, but running back, you definitely could be looking for somebody. And Tank Bigsby feels like a running back that'd be great for the Titans. I think Zach Charbonnet is a great guy to have a relief effort for Derrick Henry. And obviously Zach and I used to be buddies. We used to be teammates, and both used to be running backs too. Proud of Zach. I hope that he has a great NFL career. He's more scheme-specific than I think a lot of people admit, and this is a perfect spot for him to go. Pick number 77 for the Dolphins. Again, we haven't really done... I hate the fact that the Dolphins don't have many picks because you don't get to have that momentum. So you got a center/guard for them. Not necessarily ideal. I think linebacker could be in the equation for sure. And you got guys like DeMarvion Overshown who are super freaky at 6'4", 224. And then you also have guys like Dorian Williams that are much larger. There's good players in this class. There are some very good players. And apparently Cedric Gray is hinted at returning. That's why I haven't taken him yet. I just don't really know where to go with this team because, again, this team doesn't have that many issues with it. Tight end, though, would not be a bad idea. Tucker Kraft would be a nice option for you. It sucks that Brevin Spann-Ford decided to return. I'm going to go Josh Wiley. He's an H-back/slot/guy you can put anywhere. Somebody who I am an absolute huge fan of. I've been a huge fan of him forever. I think he was my tight end 2 starting out the year. I think he was draft eligible the year before as well. But I've just been such a huge fan of Josh Wiley, and I'm so happy that he's coming out. I think he's going to get the respect he deserves once he starts making a roster and playing reps, especially in the preseason. I feel like this is going to be one of the guys where everyone's like, whoa, how did we not see this guy? And Cincinnati doesn't even use him properly. I've seen him in person multiple times because I go to SMU. I've seen him on the TV, even against Georgia in a championship game, pretty much being one of the biggest threats in the game. People need to get on the Josh Wiley hype train. Unfortunately, his own team wasn't. So I don't really understand. Maybe there's some personal reasons and that could drop his stock, but God only knows. The Jets. Oh, boy. So what do we do for you guys in the second round? Jack Campbell. I like that. A lot of people said that was a blah pick. I'm sorry that's not super flashy. But Paris Johnson as well as Jack Campbell. I'd be super happy with that. 2 super consistent guys. I think that's fine. Safety-wise, I wish Nubbin was in the class. That'd be a really good target for you. Jair Brown could be a perfect player for this team. Let's go Jair Brown. Pretty much the worst version of Jaquan Brisker. And at 78, that's really damn good value. The Steelers, another spot where I would have loved to see someone like Jair Brown. We could see Hendon Hooker being the guy here. We could see it. Just bringing some competition. I know that, we're so overprotective of our quarterbacks. I would just love to have Hendon just sit for a year and just be a nice backup. I know it's a 3rd round pick, but the value is just incredible. Looking at it, though, defensive interior, I want to see. We went offensive tackle, obviously, in the first. We went Tyler Davis here. Awesome. Keandre Coburn could still be a good option for the Steelers. That's if you want to get a freaky defensive interior, that's probably the guy to go. Linebacker certainly is in the consideration as well. Corner, we went up and moved up for Clark Phillips, but it's never a reason not to continue upgrading. This class is just not that good. So I think wide receiver here definitely should still be on the board, and you are kind of looking for somebody to replace the value. That's why I like Justin Shorter to this team, but replace Chase Claypool. But Rome Odunze, his talent level might be too good to pass on. I think it is. So the Steelers, let's have some fun here. I haven't drafted a wide receiver in a hot minute. Rome Odunze. Somebody you could definitely see as like a 4th-round pick. Jared Wayne out of Pittsburgh. I love Jared Wayne. I loved him starting the year. And he's been a really good player. Very under the radar. And you have that synergy with Kenny Pickett. Watch out for that being a legit 2nd or 3rd or 4th-round pick. Because he totally deserves it. I have a lot of respect for him. Like, where is he on my board? I think he's there in like the 110 range. Number 113. And again, the board's not fully set. It is what it is. But pick number 80 for the Packers. I want to go offensive line. I want to test out DeJuan Jones as a depth piece for this team. Do you need tackle? No. But the fact is, the value is almost a little bit too good to pass on. 360-pound man definitely deserves at least some consideration for a team. That offensive line necessarily isn't the most consistent position that you have. Pick number 81 for the Lions. So again, I'm dying for them to bring back the ability to see the previous picks. But we got Carl Brooks, a defensive interior / edge. Noah Sewell, who's definitely not going to be there next time I draft based off of our reevaluation. Looked a little bit like a fish out of water. Joey Porter, and then I think we traded back and got Bijan. So corner, running back, you guys are chilling on those, linebacker and defensive interior. I want to actually get an outside linebacker. I do. Byron Young would be a nice fit. If you want to use him as a pure outside linebacker pass rusher, definitely somebody I would recommend. Darrell Shawmy, another guy who's really good for you. Like Jacoby Windman, I think, decided to return. Brandon Dorless, someone if you want another defensive interior edge hybrid. Like there's some good players at the edge room in this class. Zach Harrison would be awesome, but we already have our big dude. Let's go Byron Young. He's gonna be super freaky at 245, and very, very good athlete. So he's gonna test well at the combine as well. Pick number 82. Did we go Dalton Kincaid? I have a weird gut feeling we went Kincaid for this team. We went Luke Musgrave. Even better. I love Luke Musgrave. So, yeah, now I think the time is let's try to find an offensive guard. God help us. Cedric Van Pran might be the best guy who's left available, but maybe Cooper Beebe could be translated into a better offensive lineman. I feel like he's just going to get drafted, so this is probably a good range for him. Steve Avila, I like him a little bit more, so we'll go Steve. But, guard center hybrid, good depth, someone who can start. It's a 3rd round, you're starting to have slim pickings, and, again, there's not going to be that many of these guys that start, so if you get the guys with starter potential here, not a bad choice. If you guys are wondering why I don't like Siaki Ika, I will show you within 3 minutes why you will not like Siaki Ika. You just have to join the Discord. I promise you. It's really easy to see. So, we already went tight end. We have not gone QB. This is Hendon Hooker. This is Hendon Hooker's spot. It's a great value for him. Come on, that's great value. Pick number 84. Offensive tackle, QB have been the 2 positions we've already gone. So, this team probably corner with DJ Turner. That'll probably be the one that I go after. It's a weird cornerback class. You have Julius Brents here, who's also a pretty talented guy. I'm not a huge fan of what's going on with this team right now. Running back wise, I know that you guys got who'd you get back? Did you get Zach Moss? I think you got Zach Moss. But getting after someone like Tank Bigsby to be a depth piece with JT's injury history, not a bad idea. I'm gonna go Chase Brown. I think Indiana's right next to Illinois, so local guy, so to speak. You guys get to watch him with your scouts without having to fly him out everywhere. So you guys get to see quite a bit of him up there in the Big Ten. Really damn good player. He is. He's up there on my board at 69. So nice. But pick number 85, this is going to be Darrell Shawmy. I want to get a hyper-athletic edge rusher for this team. I think that's going to work perfectly fine for y'all. Just a really talented guy. 6'4", 260. I think he's exactly what you want from Isaiah Foskey, but in a much lower valued prospect. Pick number 86, another one. Yes, we can make trades, but at the same time, the value, this is the spot where it's like, dude, there's some crazy value here. I want to look at wide receiver, and I want to see who is on the board. Cedric Tillman would be such a good value at this point. He'd be really good value. I love that idea. Even if he's a wide receiver 4, that's really good value for a veteran guy to come in. He's good at that jump ball. He looks like he's improved his athleticism as well. I'm perfectly fine taking Cedric Tillman in the 3rd. Pick number 87 for the Chargers. I want to look at offensive line. Matt Bergeron's the next best dude. Again, Javon Foster has been heavily hinted at as returning. And damn, this tackle class sucks. It really sucks. Like, really sucks. So I would consider overdrafting Bergeron, but Cooper Beebe would not be an awful option either. I don't know. Do not continue selecting every single position. Thank you. I would say maybe getting another running back, but you have Isaiah Spiller as an RB3. Like, Tank Bigsby's not going to offer much more than that. It's a tough spot. Wide receiver, we've already went a wide receiver as well. So maybe we can look at defensive interior. Keandre Coburn to be a guy to plug up the middle. We're talking about Siaki Ika. This is what you want from Siaki Ika. It's a good spot for Keandre Coburn. Pick number 88 for the Ravens. So honestly, I want to get developmental safety / slot corner hybrid. That's Brandon Joseph. I know that the value's not there, but this team has absolutely no holes. So just getting the guy with the highest upside, probably the best thing to do. The Panthers, we had one kick-ass draft. It would have been nice to have Hendon Hooker here to at least provide some form of impact, but this is a good spot to go after someone like Tucker Kraft. He's basically a downgraded version of Luke Musgrave, and y'all need the tight end help. Like Ian Thomas, I saw a god-awful drop. Like, one of the few plays I saw live. It was just like, really, dude? Really? Like, dropping balls. I think tight end's a position you can definitely grab. Pick number 90 for the Bengals. So, yeah, we traded with Dallas. We had a crazy trade. I just wanted to get Jahmyr Gibbs off the board out of respect. I know that this team could actually be looking for a running back, and Sean Tucker is amazing value. So you trade back. You lose out on Jahmyr Gibbs just to get Sean Tucker. I think that's a great, great value. Corner at this spot, again, we're assuming Eli Ricks returns. Kyu Blue Kelly wouldn't be bad at all to be a depth piece for you. Safety, I want to see what did we get in the first round, because I'm pretty sure it was Darnell Wright, and it was. So, again, I would probably take Tucker Kraft if he were on the board. And maybe we could see if there's any wide receivers I could put at tight end. You never know. Parker Washington wouldn't be a bad wide receiver depth piece, but yeah, I'm not seeing any big-ass wide receivers here that I'm super hyped up about. Again, tight end, really, really thin. Cade Stover could be a cool dude to add, but I would test your luck in free agency. We could look at edge rusher as well, and Zach Harrison's too good to give up on. He is. So I know it beats the normal Bengals edge rusher stereotype of just some big hulking white dude as an edge, but Zach Harrison's a freak, man. I think his top speed is ridiculous. You see him tracking running backs, but I just don't see the consistency down to down. He's a good player, but just need to tone down the expectations a little bit. Pick number 92. We'll scroll down the board a little bit so you guys get to see a little bit more. Pick number 92 for the Chiefs. We've gone edge rusher and defensive interior. At this point, you can do whatever you want. I know running back is really good value, and you have guys in here like Dwayne McBride, Kenny McIntosh, Eric Gray, who's one of my favorite guys. But I know Tank Bigsby's going to go. Again, we're saying Blake Corum's returning. So this is just an interesting spot to take him. It's a third-round pick for a team that doesn't have that many holes. Pick number 93. Wide receiver is on my mind. It is. And you have some good players in here. I'm making sure that they did not. So, okay, we had a trade with Minnesota. I forgot about that. So we got Carl Brooks right there. Well, actually, no. I'm so stupid right now. That was for TJ Hawkinson. Ended up getting Jalen Jones. Wide receiver still in the forefront of my mind, because you do want to get a wide receiver too. And for me, Trey Palmer is a great addition. He's also used to playing up there in those type of conditions. A really damn good player. I would love to take him and have him be a nice wide receiver 2 or 3 for me for the time being. Just a consistent guy who's taking his game and taking it to the next level. The Bills, I'm going Parker Washington. I know that I went a slot earlier. Actually, I might regret taking that pick. There's one pick left in the draft. Let's actually substitute that, because I just realized I think I took Zay Flowers. I'm going to say Mike Morris. Mike Morris is that pick. He's a nice defensive interior, high upside, really good player, deserves the respect. So Parker Washington on the board, but that's not really going to matter because the Eagles are not going to take him. Eagles, I mean, dude, I'm trying to see maybe we can get like a backup QB since Minshew Magic's leaving. But safety-wise, Jalen Catalon's also, I think he's in the transfer portal. Quindell Johnson, saw him in person, not a huge fan. I'm going to go Christopher Smith. Pretty sure he's coming out. If not, it's literally the last pick of the draft, so we'll change it for next week. But that is going to be the draft. Let me know what you guys think. I want to thank you guys so much for supporting me as always. See you on the far side. Peace.